Question number 9, Gareth Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Energy and Resources and asks, can he rule out exploration for oil and gas in the West Coast North Island Marine Mammal Sanctuary?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Energy and Resources, there are 2 large exploration permits in the Marine Mammal Sanctuary on the west coast of the North Island. These permits were granted in 2002 and 2007 by the previous government, supported by the Green Party. In addition, the giant Pohokura gas field, which provides 40% of New Zealand's natural gas, is in the sanctuary. The activities coexist with the inhabitants of the sanctuary, and there's no evidence to the contrary. So, no.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Gareth Hughes.
Why did the Minister just yesterday offer Block 17E38 in Taranaki for oil and gas exploration, where a Maoris dolphin was literally sighted and the sighting was confirmed, knowing the potential for an oil spill and seismic surveying test can have devastating impacts on the last 55 Maoris dolphins?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Energy and Resources, the government commissioned in 2002 a report from experts looking at the issues that might exist between Maoris dolphins and the oil and gas development of this area. What I concluded is that the oil and gas exploration creates a very, very, very small possibility of damage to a Maoris dolphin. Their greatest threat comes from the set netting, and that's why the government increased the area that is free of set nets inside the sanctuary to about 100,000 square kilometres per Maoris dolphin.
Supplementary question, Gareth Hughes.
When the Minister signed off oil blocks in water deeper than 3.8 kilometres, was he aware of US Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement data that shows the deeper you drill, the greater the risks of a spill?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Energy and Resources, of course we keep up with data provided by other areas of exploration. But we also, of course, have our own environmental standards, and we have been progressively making those standards part of the applications that people have to make when they bid for a block that's up for offer.
Point of order.
Point of order, Gareth Hughes.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. I seek leave to table a summary of spills of 50 barrels and greater from platforms and rigs from the US Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement that shows 1 in 19 wells have had an oil spill.
The document's been described on the basis it might not be easy for members to source. I'll put the leave it as a summary document. Is there any objection to it being tabled? Appears to be none. It can be tabled. Supplementary question, Gareth Hughes.
Why was the public given no opportunity to be consulted on Block Offer 2015? And was it because the Minister knew that Kiwis would not support drilling in the Maui Sanctuary, would not support drilling in Albatross and Blue-Eyed Penguin Sanctuary, or the pristine Victoria Forest Park?
Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Energy and Resources, I think the member is being a little disingenuous by making such a bold claim. The reality is that he appears to be saying that if Labor and the Greens do it, it's okay. If National do it, it's not. The reality is that it's the National Party who put in place the Environmental Protection Agency. It's the National Party who brought in the EEZ legislation. It's the National Party who's brought in the standards around the requirements for anybody who is prospecting to meet environmental standards. So we are very, very confident that our record is a strong one. In the end, this is a huge export earner for New Zealand, our 4th biggest, and it brings in royalties of some $700 million a year. The Green Party want to do away with all of that and also shut down the Pohokura gas field, providing 40% of all the gas used in New Zealand for home heating and for jobs, factories, etc. Then good luck.
Question number 10, Dr. Megan Woods.
Thank you.